Hey everybody, it's Matt from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to show you my non-mill Janemba. Yeah. So this Janemba, for those who have no idea what it does, it's auto burst 2, and then so you mill the top 2 cards of your deck and you draw a card. Its awakening is your life of 4 or less. You can choose 2 of your energy, well, up to 2 of your energy section to activate, so he's an untapped 2. And then on the awakened side, he's got auto sparking 5. When he attacks, he gains 5k crit and draws. So he's 20k crit and lets you draw. Then he has an activate main, where you choose 1 card in your hand and place it in the drop area. During this turn, when your opponent activates a counterplay, you choose 3 cards from their hand and place them in the drop area. So not like it's not the same as Gogeta where it stops them from activating counters, but it punishes them for doing it. So still pretty good. Right, so the extra cards to the deck. For my negates, I went with 3 Dimension Magic and 1 All Too Easy. So, for those who don't know what Dimension Magic does, it's your Sparking one, which is obviously fine for this deck because you're going to be milling, so you can hit Sparking quite easily. So, for this, you can pay 1 or take a life, and then if you've got a blue leader, you can untap 2 blue energy. And then All Too Easy is a counter attack, so you negate the attack, and then if it's any drop, you can do this from the drop area as well, but you can't do it in the same turn that you've used it, so you can't activate it twice in one turn. But from the drop, you gotta choose, so you activate it, and then you gotta choose a card from your hand and send them out of the game so they don't go to the warp. And then its other part of its effect in the counter attack is you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, so energy cost of 1, and return it to their hand. And then we've gone with 3 Senzu Bean. So Senzu Bean, activate battle, you choose something to gain 5k, that's during either player's turn because it's an activate battle, and you untap 2 energy, and you pay 1 to do that. And then for my counterplay for the deck, I've gone with 2 copies of your Wide Open. So it costs 2 blue energy if your leader card is blue. If the battle card your opponent is playing has energy cost of 4 or less, it's returned to your owner's hand instead of being played. So onto the 1 costs. There is a proxy for the deck, so do bear that in mind when I get to it. I'll show you. So for the first 1 cost, we have 4 copies of Psyche Demon. So this is your 1-drop Janemba Searcher. So when you play this, you look at the top 7. Well, you can either look at the top 7 cards of your deck and add a Janemba, or you can look at the bottom of your deck and add a Janemba. And either way, you shuffle your deck. So if you know there's a Janemba on the bottom and it's the one you want, you just do that instead of doing the top 7 to try and get a different one. And then I'm using Dark Power Black Saiyan as a placeholder for Pan. So for those who don't know what Pan does, it does exactly the same thing as all these other ones, where it swings, you take a life, it gains 10k. But then she has another auto where she bounces back to the hand at the end of turn. So ignore Black Saiyan, just use it as Pan if you have them. Or if you don't have Pan, just use that. So for 2 costs, gone with the 4 copies of Great Saiyan as my super combo, because I'm a burst leader and sparking's easy to do, and you're gonna be able to activate this quite early on, which is good, and you're not going to be using any warp based cards in this because you need the sparking for this deck. So it works out. And then we got 2 copies of Gawasu. So the reason why Gawasu is in here is because some of the Janemba cards that you mill off your unawakened side, you might want to put back in the deck for later in the game, or you can put them to the bottom of the deck anyway, and then get them searched off the Psyche Demon. So 2 good things for Gawasu there, because is when you combo with it, you can choose a card from your hand, place it in your drop area, then you can choose up to 3 battle cards at energy cost of 3 or less. Okay, so you can't, sorry, my bad, you can't get your Janembas, but you can get the Childish Hearts. so it's fine. I forgot about the energy restriction, but there's still targets that you can get, so it's not too much of a bother. Or is it? Yeah, energy cost of, I know, 3 or more. No, my bad, ignore me. So yeah, you can get them all. It's 3 or more, not 3 or less. So all your Janembas are targets, which is great. So they go back to the bottom deck in any order, or you choose one and your opponents drop and return it to their deck and they shuffle. So I was right the first time. I'm just being a derpy derp. And then, because Unyielding's at 1, we've got the 1 copy of Unyielding Spirit Trunks. So combo of it during your turn and you get to untap an energy. But, you know, Raditz, Borgos, Whis, what's the other one, Jonah? Kami. There you go. Those things here exist. And I'm so sorry guys about the glossing. My brain just decided to change the wording. It's like, wait, no, it does work, I know it works. And then we got, for the free costs now, we got 4 copies of Childish Heart Janemba. So, cost 3 blue to play out normally, or you can evolve it onto the Psyche Demon, so wherever he's gone. This guy for 2 energy. And then he has an activate main, you pay 1 blue, you choose a Janemba from your deck, play it into your warp, shuffle your deck, place this to the bottom, and then play the Janemba from the warp. But you can choose it has to be a 4 cost Janemba, but you can choose a different one that's already there. You don't have to get the one that was placed by the effect. And then we've got 2 copies of Fervent Destruction Chomper. So when you combo with it, you pay the 1, it's 10k combo, and the card that's attacking can gain double strike. So that's just good for that, really, because this deck is, well, all the Janembas are crit, the leader's crit, so doing double crit is just horrible. And then we got a one-off copy of Freezer Universe 7 United. So it costs 3, but it's a blocker barrier, and it has an activate main where you pay 1 blue and 2 colours. You can play this from a drop area. So if you happen to mill it off the unawakened side of Janemba, then that's fine. It just means you got a barrier blocker and a drop that if you need it for your opponent's next turn, you can just play it out. Or you can just play it out for 3 and then it dies and just keep bringing it back. It's an option. Okay, so on to the 4 costs now, where the bulk of the deck is. So for the Janemba line, I went with 4 copies of Reality Bender. 4 copies, 3 copies even. It's because I got 4 copies of the other stuff. So 3 copies of the Reality Bender. So it has Critical, Deflect, Permanent. If your opponent has 4 more energy and you've got no battle cards in play, you can reduce its energy cost by 3, so it comes out for 1. And then has an auto at the end of turn. It goes to the bottom of your deck and your opponent mills 2 cards. For the next Janemba, we've got 3 copies of the Agent Destruction one. So again, critical. And auto of when you play this card from your hand or warp, you at the end of your turn you can choose an energy and get it back. And then he has an activate main where you can send him to your warp, your opponent mills 3 and you get to draw a card. And then we've got 4 copies of the Demon Sword. So Demon Sword has got crit, deflect, activate main, you place into the bottom of the deck and choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to a warp. So it's spot removal and mills them. And then we've got 4 copies of the Phantom Strike Janemba. So this Janemba has critical and a lot of words. So auto of when this card is sent from the battle area to a warp, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to your owner's warp. You look at the bottom card of your deck and add up to 1 Janemba card from there to your hand and shuffle your deck. So if there's a Janemba at the bottom that you want and you know it's there, you can just get it off this skill for either playing out the same turn or you got it for next turn. But then he has an activate main of send this card to the owner's warp. If your your opponent has 4 more energy and Janemba card isn't in play in your battle area, choose up to 1 Janemba of energy cost of 5 and play it. So, yeah. It's the way to get the 5-drop out from ages ago, the SR. Well, it was the way of getting it out. So, yeah, that's how you get it out. But there's a new card that gets it out, which I will show in a second. I'll actually show the 5-drop first. So, this is your 5-drop Janemba, and it has critical auto of when you play this card, you can't play another one for duration of turn, because, my god, if you could play more than one a turn. So it's got activate main, spark intent, where you place it at the bottom of your deck, and then you get a Janemba with an energy cost of 4 from your warp, and you play it. So you send this to your warp, play this from your hand, then you can swing with him, put it to the bottom of the deck, and play this out again. And then you can either leave this out, well, you can swing with it, and it'll just stay there, or you can leave it, don't swing with it, and then next turn, if you've got another one of these in your hand, you can just do the thing again. So you get, off these 2 cards, you get 3 attacks, if you wanted to. Just off the 2 cards. And then the Janemba support card that came in the draft box is another 5-drop one, but this is the 5-drop that you play off. Bear that in mind. And this 5-drop helps you play this one. So it's critical. Activate main, you pay 1 blue. If you have 3 or more energy, you can play this card from your hand if you've got no battle cards in play. So that's fine, because then it's like, oh, I'm 3 energy, cool, I'll pay 1 to play this. And then it's got another activate main where you pay a blue and a colorless, you place it at the bottom of your deck, and then you play this from your hand. Yeah, 5, energy cost of 5. So yeah, just play this one from your hand. So you can go 20 crit, place at the bottom, play this guy out, and then swing with him, and then do all of his shenanigans. If you've got a Janemba, it's like the previous turn, if you set this to your wall, you just go with him, and then bring this one out, and then just keep doing all the shenanigans. I would like to have more of this, because I'd rather swap it out for this guy. But I don't, so I'm working with what I got, guys. Ideally, probably should have 4 copies of this one, 4 copies of this one, and then just run whatever else. But this 5-drop is supposed to replace this 4-drop, basically. So there you go, guys. That is the Janemba non-mill Janemba deck. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.